Folks, how do we do? Welcome. Welcome. And thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. I'm here today to ponder the question that is on my mind, and that question is this. Is the yearly release cycle of Call of Duty destroying Call of Duty? They used to put out bangers, like just banger after banger after banger. We just couldn't take it anymore, with just so many bangers that we had to just... We were spoiled. We really were. But the recent games don't really sit too well with a lot of the community. And now every game has its issue, but these new Call of Duties have an abundance of issues. The biggest one being skill-based matchmaking. But I started thinking, could the yearly release cycle be one of Call of Duty's biggest problems? We all used to love Call of Duty release days. I used to love going to GameStop with my friends at midnight and just getting the new game and going back and playing it. Every year we got great games that they were different enough from the previous game so that it still felt new, but it was similar enough to feel comfortable. During this time, a big criticism of the games was that they were just the same thing reskinned. It was sort of copy and paste every year. Now, I disagreed with that. I thought the games were similar, but they were different enough. They had different maps, guns, create a class systems, camos, music, and just all the visuals that made them solid individual games. Unlike now where, we literally have basically a DLC that's been sold as a new game. But, that's neither here nor there. The old games always seemed to have passion and soul in them. And the fundamentals were always solid. They were made for everybody to enjoy with the occasional microtransaction or DLC. But this argument of the copy and paste still got them to try some new things. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes, it didn't. But the foundation was always there. Then they started to add hundreds of attachments and sent skill-based matchmaking to the moon. Sledgehammer reportedly wanted to bring back the Pick-10 system, but was told no by Activision and Infinity Ward. My guess is because you can't sell a weapon blueprint with 5 attachments if you only have 10 slots in a class. Makes it a little bit difficult. Now it seems like the games are built around these $20 to $30 cosmetic bundles instead of the actual game. Now, before you even get a chance to play the game, you're bombarded with pop-ups trying to get you to spend more money in a game you already paid $70 for. The game itself seems like more of an afterthought whose only purpose is to manipulate you into buying bundles. They sell you overpowered weapon blueprints that you sometimes feel like you need to compete. Then a month later, they nerf the gun that you spent $20 on and are celebrated for listening to the community. They collaborate with celebrities and popular characters to get you to pay $30 for a skin that you can't even see because the game is in first person. And the argument has been made that skill-based matchmaking exists to keep bad players in the game long enough so they buy bundles and make the better players feel like they need the best loadouts to complete in their sweaty lobbies. I think also that this sort of thing is referred to as engagement optimized matchmaking. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I just started hearing that term and no one really explained it exactly, but I think that's about it. And if so, I am getting more into that camp. Because this new Warzone, I've only played a few hours, but it is very obviously not skill-based at all, because I now have a .38 KD in this game, and I am getting in lobbies with some of the sweatiest people I have ever seen in my entire life, and all of them, darn near every single time I die, someone's got an Interstellar camo. I don't even have Modern Warfare number 3. I haven't played Warzone in months. I haven't played Call of Duty really that much in a long time, and I'm still getting in games with these guys. The skill-based matchmaking has turned away a lot of older players that worked really hard to get good at the game and now struggle to even stay positive or have a good time. And this is even showing in their sales. Sales of Modern Warfare 3 are down almost 40% from Modern Warfare number 2. Then they just put nostalgic things in to draw us back. All of us players who aren't really feeling too great about the franchise anymore. So they just throw out some sound packs. You get the Modern Warfare 2 music and various sounds from Modern Warfare 2, the real one. You get the remastered maps, guns, all this stuff that just makes you feel good. It makes you think that they're going back to their roots, but they're not. They're just not. But all these things do sound fantastic when they're just hyping up the game. It's sort of like Nebraska football, right? I'm a Nebraska football fan. And every year, it's always, there's something that's going to make this year it, It's like, we're back, we've got new coach, this quarterback, we've got these new players, we've got this guy or that, and, we're changing our defense, even though the defense was good this year. They were solid, bless them. But then every year, it just gets disappointing. You start going back to the glory days and thinking, man, can we just do that again? But every year, we just get disappointed. And in the middle of the season, we're just trying to find somebody to blame and saying, hey, well, maybe next year, right? Similar thing is happening in Call of Duty. For Modern Warfare number 3, their whole strategy was, we tried to make things the way they were and got rid of the stuff you didn't like, except skill-based matchmaking, which they still haven't addressed after they said they would a couple weeks ago, and I'm still waiting on it. We're here. But what would happen if they took a year or two between games? I bought Modern Warfare 2 because the word on the street was that it would be a 2-year game. And with the reports that Sledgehammer didn't know if they were working on a DLC or a full game, that was probably true originally. But because Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 sucked the biggest bowl of butts we've ever seen, they decided that they had to come out with a whole new game. So they, built up Modern Warfare number 3 as the savior of Call of Duty. And obviously, with a 38% drop in sales for Modern Warfare number 2, not a lot of people fell for it. So I started to think, what would happen if they released a game every other year instead of every year, or every 2 years even? I think people would be more open to a new game because they would be really tired of playing the same Call of Duty for 2 years. And at this point, they might not have already run out of ideas, which they seem to have done. Also, at this point, Call of Duty is the only non-sports game that releases every year. Seems like almost every other game that is similar to Call of Duty has switched to a free-to-play model. They have the same monetization techniques as Call of Duty, the store, the battle pass, all these things. But you just don't have to pay $70 to actually start playing. And a lot of games, they know when they hit a home run. And instead of just trying to redo it, to try and just go back up to the plate and hit another home run, they say, hey, you know what, we hit this home run, let's enjoy rounding the bases. Let's make our way to first. We'll slowly get to second, third, we'll kind of stop and we'll point at some kid in the crowd who's just, he's yelling, he's so excited. And then we maybe years later, you just take your final, just slow walk to home plate. And you go up to it and you take a little tap. You just tap your foot on it, Or you could even just do like the most grandiose slide into home plate. And maybe even take out the catcher while you're at it. That guy's just standing there, take him out, Go out with a bang. But every year with Call of Duty, we were promised something great, something new, something innovative, and every year we're disappointed. And at some point, we need to stop buying the new game and all their bundles and force them to actually make a game that's worth our money. I mean, I already can't allow myself to buy another Call of Duty until some big changes are made. Hopefully, with Bobby Kotick leaving in January and Microsoft taking the lead, things will change. But, I mean, who really knows? Things may not change as much as we could hope, but I am hopeful with these changes at the top. Treyarch having a long time to work on their game, and Verdansk coming back. I think it'll help the game. But I would really like to see Call of Duty only release every other year or every couple years. I think they went beyond trying to be innovative a long time ago and are just changing things to give us a reason to spend more money. I think if they keep releasing games like this every year, the franchise will die and become irrelevant and unrecognizable to the people who grew up playing. And that would just suck to see. So hopefully they can pull it together. Hopefully we get a good game soon. And hopefully they stop trying to just force these bundles and these subpar games down our throats every year. That'd be appreciated. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section. I really appreciate you watching if you've gotten this far. Like it if you liked it. And if you absolutely hated it, then dislike it. Do that. That's an option as well. If you want to see more, subscribe. I'd really appreciate the absolute heck out of it, and I will talk to you later.